has seen a sudden spike come in. Adani Enterprises up 7% in trade now as we speak. Majesco has been up, but it's gaining on those moves as well. 12.5% up for Majesco at this point. GM Breweries has been up from the morning, but 17% up for that. The entire aviation pack, because you've got ATF prices now at a 5-year low, now led by SpiceJet, and Indigo continues to move higher and significantly so. The Reliance Group stocks, Reliance Capital along with Reliance Infra, and now Financial Technologies as well, is making its mark as one of the biggest gainers in the mid-cap space. Vijay Chopra of Enoch Ventures, Ruchit Jain of Angel Broking join in. Vijay, I want to come to you first up on Shrey Infra. The BNP stake transfer happened as well. How is this counter really looking as we step into 2016? It's coming back quite as a trader's favorite.
Yeah, and I think that the stock has done a stupendous job even today, and the company has a fantastic network of branches all across the country. They are doing some good work in the equipment financing space, and I think that this news is positive, and this can trigger an up move, a further up move in the counter. I think that it can reach 80 levels quite comfortably. Another point that Mr. Kanoria is a seasoned player in the market and one of the best brains in the financial markets nowadays. So I think that it has a good management at the helm. They've got BNP news in their fold, and I think that the business has been growing quite well on the the financing side. So definitely a good counter to hold on to. Probably we can see further fireworks and it can head to 80.
Wow, that's 80 is the intermediate target coming in on the fundamental side. Vijay, from Vijay, we've gone over to Ruchit as well. Ruchit, stocks up 63% from the near-term low that we saw in December as well. Early December, from the 9th of December, the stocks up 63%. Is there still room for uptick? Do you think there's a new trajectory that Shrey Infra is facing right now?
Yeah, although the stock has moved much higher in last few sessions, but if you see that good thing is that the up move has been backed by very good volume. So probably with volumes coming in, I think further upside potential is there in the stock. The near-term resistance would come around 72 levels. We have seen that 72 was the high made in October 2010, from where the stock has showed significant correction up to 15-20 zone. So again, up to around that 72 levels, I think a bit resistance could be faced, and if it takes out 72, then probably the stock could even go up to 85 zone. So although for those who want to buy fresh, I think there won't be a favorable risk reward ratio over here, but those who are already holding a longs in the stock can continue to hold the stock on the higher levels. I think by next week itself the stock could touch 72.
All right, I want to talk about the aviation sector as well. Weighing on this, Vijay, you've got Jet Airways entering the debut of F&O today. ATF prices at a 5-year low, which is really a big game changer for the industry. That's largest part of their expenditure would be jet fuel as well. Do you think the destiny has changed the course for aviation stocks, and if despite the run-up, it's still worth a look?
Well, I think that there was a huge storm brewing in the teacup post the Indigo listing, and I think that post this listing and the fantastic listing, I would say there has been a complete revision in the way airline stocks were looked at, and we have seen SpiceJet from lows of about 30, now it has already tripled within a year's time. And Jet Airways, hitting 750, 760 odd levels. I think that there is still steam left, and it can reach at 900 levels. This news is very good as far as the reduction in the ATF prices are concerned, because I think 30-35% of their direct cost goes towards ATF. So there is a direct benefit, 10% benefit on the balance sheet if you look at the at this benefit. Number two, the load factor has been very good. SpiceJet for 3-4 months in a row, I think they've been having a load factor of 90% plus. So this is again a good thing which is helping these companies. So I'm sure there is some more steam left, but again a word of caution, because if we see some action in crude, any upside in crude might damage their party to some extent, and there might be some correction because the stocks have already run up a lot. But again, as of now, I think that these stocks can shoot up in the very short term. Yes.
Ruchit, I want to talk about the charts of some of the Reliance Group stocks led by Anil Ambani. You've got Reliance Communication that's trading at the day's highest point, closer to 91 rupees. Now, if I look at the charts from the August lows, it's up a whopping 79%. So you've got 2.5%, 3% up. Reliance Infrastructure on a tear today as well. Reliance Com up 44% over the last 6 months. Look at Reliance Infrastructure and what that's done over the last 1 month, and even today in trade. Look at the big move coming in, 8.5% on that. Reliance Capital as well, CLSA quite bullish on that stock, 32% Reliance Infra over the last 1 month. Reliance Capital up 6% in trade right now. 3 stocks from the Reliance Group pack. How are they positioned on the technicals?
Technically, all of them have been forming this high top, high bottom now since last 3-4 months. We have seen that in Nifty, when the last leg of corrective action was there, when Nifty tested around 75.50. In spite of just before that markets being corrected, these stocks clearly showed outperformance and were forming this high top, high bottom formation. So now, when the trend of the market has changed, definitely fresh buying would be seen where outperformance was there earlier. So considering this high top, high bottom formation may continue going ahead also, although the momentum readings are in overbought zone and some short-term consolidation could be seen in stocks such as Reliance Infra going here. We have been quite positive on RCOM, which we have also suggested to our clients for a target of around 100, 102. So I think momentum is still left in RCOM and Capital in both these stocks, wherein RCOM, I think the stock could test around 100 levels in near term. So I think one should clearly still trade with positive bias in these stocks. Although taking fresh trades over here won't be giving a good risk reward ratio, but already those who are holding the stocks can continue to hold for further upsides from current levels.
Adani Transmission is making its move felt on the mid-cap side as well. Now, Adani Transmission up 11% in trade, joining the 7% rise that Adani Enterprise is seeing. So the Adani pack looking quite from the transmission and transformers business. Indotech as well is making the mark felt on the bourses today. Though there's low volume across the board, but these are some of the stocks that are looking quite attractive in trade. Indotech, transformers there as well, 18% up and significant volumes. There is auto in focus today. You had sales figures from Maruti out, Eicher Motors, M&M as well. We're waiting it out for Tata Motors. That's the biggest gainer on the Nifty today. Hiral tracks the auto sector quite closely. Hiral, it's been a good quarter for Maruti. They've shut out the year with some impressive numbers. Take us through how the numbers are really looking as we step into 2016.
That's right. Maruti has managed to kickstart 2016 with witnessing a sales growth of almost 8.5% for the month of December. In terms of the domestic sales, that has gone up around 13.5%, whereas exports have played a downer for the counter, seeing a degrowth of almost 33%. However, the domestic sales number has managed to even hide out the bad news that the export segments has given Maruti. In terms of 2015 as a whole, Maruti has closed the year with 11.5% sales growth, which is highest in at least 5 years. And from April to December, if you go to see the time of FY16 so far, the sales numbers have gone up by almost 13% on a year-on-year basis. In fact, the UV sales has inched high by around 59%. If you see in terms of the passenger vehicle sales, even that has given a pretty decent performance. So across, if you go to see, it's good news in terms of where Maruti is concerned. We have M&M as well, which has reported numbers wherein the total sales has gone up by around 5%. Domestic sales have remained pretty much flat, seeing a growth of almost 1%, wherein the export bit, which is a minuscule portion of it, has seen a growth of almost 65%. If you see in terms of the MHCV segment, that has grown by around 74%, and the LCV business again has remained flat in this quarter as well. And if you see the tractor sales, domestic sales up by around 3.5%, whereas the total number has also seen a growth of around 3.5%. So a clear indication that the rural demand has been improving as well. And lastly, if you go to see in terms of where Atul Auto is concerned, sales have gone up by around 8% for the counter. And for Eicher Motors, we have the JV, which is the CV business. They've recorded December truck and bus sales up by around 36%. So a good performance in terms of where the CV business is concerned as well for Eicher Motors.
All right, Hiral, stay with us. I'm going to come back to you and talk about some of the charts that you've been highlighting for us as well. Meanwhile, Vijay, weigh in on the auto stocks for us. Tata Motors are leading the charts. How are you looking at Maruti after the stupendous rise in 2015 with all the diesel headwind as well, odd even from where you are based as well, the odd even norm comes into play. How do auto stocks look like they're stacked up?
Well, I think that, auto companies have to take that in its stride, and the way the numbers have been growing, definitely, it's quite heartening to know, minus the exports piece, which is a bit tad lower than expected. But I think that Tata Motors, so to say, should be the gainer, because most of it is coming from JLR, and JLR in general doesn't get affected much with the India numbers. It is what they're doing in Europe and China and other countries. So I think Tata Motors can go up to 450 odd levels. So seemingly it looks the best stock at present. Again, Maruti I've been fairly bullish on, and I think that the stock has the potential of reaching 4800 odd levels. The numbers have been good, and overall beneficiary of this odd even drive in Delhi, I think Maruti is going to gain, because most of its vehicles are either petrol or CNG, which sell the most, and they're not affected by the 2000 cc diesel ban at all. So looking from that perspective, I think that Maruti can have a continued party till 4800.
All right, Ruchit, before I come to some of the technicals as well, I'm going to head across to Hiral, and this one's going to come towards Ruchit. So, let's listen to the stocks carefully that Hiral's highlighting for us. Hiral, on Chart Attack today, as we've started off a new year, which are some of the breakout stocks that you've spotted, the top gainers and losers versus the benchmarks?
That's right. If you go to see in terms of December as a month is concerned, that has been pretty muted for the markets as well. Now, however, the mid caps have clearly outperformed the benchmarks here as well. So let's look at some of the breakout stocks for the month of December. To start off with, if you go to see, Nifty has been pretty flat, seeing a growth of almost 0.1%, wherein the top gainer for Nifty has been Tata Steel. The stock was beaten down over the last couple of months. However, it has managed to recoup in December, seeing gains of almost 13%, as well, being the top gainer in Nifty as well. If you see in terms of where Nifty 500 stocks are concerned, that has been up by 1% in December, wherein it's Pipavav Defense, which is one of the stocks that has outperformed with gains of almost 37%. If you see the chart, the one in green, gains of 37% on that counter, and on the back of defense orders and strategic alliances with Russia, that's the kind of move that we have seen in December. Whereas if you see Srenuj and Company, which has been the top loser in terms of the mid caps, down by almost 57%. In fact, banks have underperformed in the month of December. If you see Bank Nifty as well, over the month of December, Bank Nifty is down by almost 3%, and major banking stocks from the large caps as well as the small caps have been beaten down. Now, in fact, the large caps, if you go to see, they have been the top losers on the Nifty. If you see SBI, which is the white line, down by almost 10%, Bank of Baroda down by almost 13%, and lastly, the biggest loser has been PNB, down by almost 20% in the month of December. And in terms of the small caps as well, if you go to see Indian Bank as well as Canara Bank, both of these counters down in the range of almost 12 to 14%, whereas the top banking sector, the top loser amongst the banking sector in terms of the smaller ones is Dhanlaxmi Bank, which has seen a degrowth of almost 17%. So these are the stocks that we have tracked in terms of where December is concerned and that have seen a breakout.
Ruchit, amongst all the stocks you just heard Hiral highlighting, what has caught your attention the most?
Yeah, overall I'm not tracking some of the mid-cap stocks which I mentioned, but I would specifically like to comment on the banking sector.
Okay.
What we have observed that in the recent up move which we have seen in the markets, the banking stocks have not shown any signs of positive reversal signs. We have seen some positive momentum picking up in Nifty. In fact, on weekly and the monthly charts, there is a positive bullish formation on Nifty. But we have not seen any such positive or bullish formation on Bank Nifty or any of its components. Even if we specifically observe the components of the Bank Nifty, the three largest highest weightage which are there in HDFC Bank, Axis Bank and ICICI Bank. So Axis Bank and ICICI Bank still are forming low top, low bottom formation. Still no signs of reversal in these stocks. HDFC Bank may continue to outperform and remain sideways with a bit of positive biasness. But coming now to mid-cap PSU banks, mid-cap PSU banks have shown a big underperformance in last couple of months. After a sideways consolidation, we have seen some good volumes building up, and the prices are have now shown signs of breakdown on the downside. So I think these stocks, in spite of markets moving up or markets remaining sideways, the mid-cap PSU banks could correct further from current levels going ahead. So we are not positive on the mid-cap PSU banks even at current levels, and I think some about at least up to 5 to 8% correction in these stocks could be seen in this month.
All right, Shraddha standing by to tell us some of the top 2016 bets that brokerages are looking at as well. Then I'll get some from Vijay as well and what the stocks that he's looking at. Shraddha, what are some of the domestic brokerages really eyeing?
Well, to start off with, we have Religare, where they have picked up all the stocks in the mid-cap space. So we have Amara Raja Batteries with a target price of 1020. They have Britannia Industries with a target of 3600. That's a 20% upside even from the current levels. Century Plyboards with a target of 210, and Somani Ceramics with a target of about 455. ICICI Securities, on the other hand, has picked Bajaj Finserv with a target price of 2308. Of course, the stock which has seen a fantastic run in 2015. Jagnan Prakashan with a target of 193, Jet Airways with a target of 790, Greaves Cotton with a target of 180. In fact, this is one of their most bullish bets with a 25% upside. Mahindra & Mahindra with a target price of 1470. This is their only large cap pick, and Somani Ceramics with a target price of 465, similar to Religare's target price of 455. We also have SMC Global with their picks. In terms of the large cap stocks, they're bullish on Reliance with a target price of 1289, Z Entertainment with a target price of 500, and Tata Power with a target price of 84. On the mid cap front, they're bullish on Biocon with a target price of 613, Diwan Housing Finance with 294 target, and DB Corp with a target price of 439. And lastly, India Nivesh, again they have chosen all stocks in the mid cap space as their top picks for 2016. So they have Aurobindo Pharma with a target price of 995, Camlin Fine Chemicals with a 25% sort of an upside with a target price of 136, Capital First 468 target, and Force Motors with a target of 3780, KPR Mills with a target price of 1059, and lastly Majesco with a target price of 778. Remember, when this stock has seen a stellar run since listing, so all of these as far as the listing, the top picks are concerned.
All right, Vijay, what's been on your radar as we step into 2016? Some of the stocks that you've been closely watching at Enoch?
Well, I think that Biocon is one that I've been recommending. Syngene, another stock which I think that should do good. Another stock which I think that can be taken with a long-term perspective is L&T Financial Holdings. Tata Elxsi is another company which is very good in the animation space, and I think that stock can touch 2500 odd. Apart from that, housing finance companies are, I think should do good in the year 2016. LIC Housing Finance would be my top pick with a target of 550.
All right, let's hear out some of the other top picks coming in for the next year. Caught up with Anand Tandon, Gaurang Shah, as well as Ashu Madan of Religare to get a sense of their ideas for the year ahead.
We are optimistic on tire stocks like Seat looks good, even Eicher Motor amongst the auto pack, Arvind Mill is still looking good, Dish TV is another stock. So I think we are a variety of stocks which we feel positive about, but one has to expect a very normal and not very optimistic return. Obviously there could be certain mid caps again which will outperform, but I think of all the things as a sector, I would say aviation will steal the limelight, and probably ADAG pack also will deliver a positive surprise, because I think that's also under re-rating. So as these two themes could surprise us very strongly on the upside.
Avoiding, okay, I'll put down metals and infrastructure. I am talking about immediate near term, and of course real estate, some names. In IT, Infosys and Tech Mahindra would be a preferred pick. In pharma, Sun Pharma and Dr. Reddy's, because both these names are beaten down and we do not see any huge negativity in terms of downside opening up, barring of course you have major negative news flows coming in from the US FDA, then we might revisit. We like autos and auto ancillary, so over there we have Tata Motors shares and DVR and Maruti, and in auto ancillary we have names like Bharat Forge as well as Motherson Sumi. Paint is the other sector that we are excited about on fallback of lower commodity prices. So Asian Paint is the one that we have a preferred investment idea.
From the point of view of the sector, like I said, the broad themes are the fact that you will have a big boom in consumer discretionary because of the pay commission in Europe payouts, that the government is already pushing in infrastructure in various ways, and that is translating into an industrial payout. And over time, as the capacity utilization improves, you will have some sectors like, for example, cement, etc., which will benefit. Consequently, the sectors to look for is consumer discretionary, roads, rail and defense in that order, and local plays and export plays like textiles or perhaps some select IT companies.
BF Utilities is spiking in trade as we speak. A big move coming in from the Bharat Forge arm there. BF Utilities now at the day's highest, 0.7% up. Jain Irrigation is doing exactly the same thing in trade as well, spiking as we speak. From the smaller sectors, you've got the likes of an Ujas Energy, which is now up 20%, locked up in circuit as well. So a lot of spikes coming in as we shut out for trade in just about 2.5 odd minutes. Ujas Energy locked up in upper circuit as we speak. From some of the smaller companies as well, you've got Parenteral Drugs as well, a company that we just talked about in trade the day before yesterday, that got not coming in from the US FDA as well. That stock locked up in upper circuit, 20% up. SR Shipping up 14% in trade as well. Opto Circuits makes its way up to 12% up. And infrastructure, small cap, from the small cap infrastructure space, Skipper Limited as well is enjoying a good day of trade. Ruchit, leave us with some of the technical ideas that you have into 2016, these charts that are looking strong right now.
Technically, for short to medium term, we are recommending large cap pharma stocks to our clients. Probably we have seen that in last 3-4 months, these large cap pharma stocks have corrected substantially, and the mid cap space has been continuously outperforming these large cap names. Probably now going ahead, I think these large cap stocks have become quite attractive after this correction. We have seen that stocks such as Dr. Reddy, Sun Pharma correcting about 30-35% from the highs. And if you just observe the long-term charts of these stocks, then they are in a structurally bull market and in a long-term uptrend. Probably in such uptrend, it's very less you get such opportunities, wherein 30-35% corrections comes and then again resumption of the uptrend happens. So basically, Sun Pharma, Lupin and Sun Pharma, Cipla, Lupin, Dr. Reddy, all these 4 stocks from the pharma names looks quite attractive over here from medium to long-term perspective. Apart from them, housing finance sector is one which is looking good. In last 1 month, a good amount of volumes have been seen in certain stocks such as LIC Housing Finance and Diwan Housing Finance. So I think these 2 stocks would continue to do better in next 3 to 6 months perspective. The stock specific, we also have recommended buying in Siemens. Basically, after this correction, the stock is now very attractive.
So Diwan Housing and Siemens as well on that focus. Sugar stock, as you can see at the bottom of your screen, buzzing in trade. 1 minute to go to shut out the first day of trade of 2016. It's going to be a day of low volume nevertheless. Now Bosch makes it to the highest gainer for the Nifty today. Pull up the Nifty and see how that's looked like. It's going to close out for the session above 7950, and as we shut out trade, I'm going to ask Ruchit what that really means for the charts going ahead as well. So 30 seconds to go. It's been not a very eventful week, one of low volumes across the board as the markets head into a steady start into 2016 January series. A lot of market participants have been talking that it's going to be a late Santa rally on the markets in January, as most of the global markets also come back in and the event risk of the Fed gets out of way entirely. So that's what the closing call now looks like. The Nifty shutting out for trade at 7950, above the 7950 mark. Let's start with the gainers. Bosch, Tata Motors, Adani Ports. Those are the big ones that we're watching out for, and that's where the closing cards to come in. 3% up for Bosch. Tata Motors makes its way up. Adani Ports, the entire Adani pack as a whole as well. Vedanta makes its way up to 1.5%. Then you've got the banking pack, which started to support PNB and SBI along with Bank of Baroda. So the PSU banks played their part with the Nifty reclaiming 7950 in a closing trade. Cement counters, Ultratech, Ambuja as well as ACC all ending in the green. today. What was putting the pressure on the Nifty and restricting the up move? GAIL India down 1.5%, a bit of profit booking there. HCL Technologies along with TCS. So the technology pack a little soft going into earnings season. And Mahindra not a very impressive sales numbers coming in, continued to be soft. On the upside on the mid caps, and that's where the excitement's really at, and we've been talking about that with Hiral all through the day today. Shrey Infra ends the day top of the charts, locked up in 20% trade. Shrey Infra was definitely the stock of the day. Great move, big move up coming out. JM Brewery 17% up, Majesco 14% up. The entire Adani pack, so Adani Transmission, Adani Ports, Adani Power, every single Adani stock very strong in a trade today. So you've got Adani Ports up 2.5%, Adani Transmission, a smaller company at that, 11.5% up. And pull up Adani Power as well from the Adani Group to see how that fared out in trade today, up 5.5%. Same was the story with the Anil Ambani led Reliance Group as well. So you've got Reliance Capital, Reliance Infrastructure, as well as Reliance Communication, all ending the day with handsome gains today. The aviation pack, as F&O debut comes in for Jet Airways alongside with ATF pricing being at 5-year low, has buoyed up Jet Airways, Indigo as well as SpiceJet. Sugar stocks, annual gain coming in for sugar globally for the first time in 5 years. ISMA tells us expect more exports to come in, especially Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, and you can see the excitement coming in some of these stocks. From some of the lesser talked about stocks, Financial Technologies made its move up about 7% Gen Irrigation spiked in trade, ILNFS Transport, BF Utilities and Antaraj Industries, just to name a few. The list of actual big movers from the mid caps was quite large. Rachit, last word from you before we bid adieu to January 1st and can continue a much needed weekend as well. The range for the Nifty as we step into next week?
Nifty today's session, if you see, has closed right on the resistance zone of 7970. We have seen that 7970 was the high in the first week of the December, from where correction came to 7550. So it is prudent to watch this 7970 resistance. In case if this gets crossed on Monday's trading session, then probably next week itself we can see upside momentum continuing up to 8130, 8150 zone, where there is a falling trendline resistance. Although the biasness is positive in the markets, and hence any dips if it comes next week from the 7970 resistance zone, then it would be again an opportunity to create long positions. Overall, we are expecting that in this series itself, Nifty should test 8150, 8130 resistance levels.
All right. Thanks for that, Rachit. I'm going to head across to Vijay for last. But Vijay, 8100 first or 7800 first?
I think that market is at a very precarious level. Any bad news, I think that market can inch up to 7800. But seemingly the way the year has started, and if there are no surprises, negative surprises this year, probably 8100 would be first. If at all there are no negative surprises.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much, and very happy New Year as well. Enjoy the weekend, much needed one after New Year's. It's been a low volume trade all this week. Next week is going to be a different story as all global markets come back with a full flow. Remember, we'll also have the PMI numbers coming in on the 4th of January.